Beautiful day, unlimited sparkles, and welcome to my second questions and answers video. And today I'm going to be answering questions that have been submitted to me by my Patreons. I'm super grateful, guys, for these beautiful questions that I have here. And I also actually have a really exciting news that I'm so excited to tell you. And that idea actually came to me because of one of these questions. So let me just dive into the questions so I can start answering and also tell you about this new exciting news that I have for you. And that's actually related to the very first question. The very first question was submitted to me by Lindsay. So thank you so much, Lindsay. And Lindsay is asking, if you weren't currently in the professional field you are in now, and she's referring to me being a life coach, what would you be doing if the sky was the limit? And I was actually thinking about it. You know, I was thinking about the wording that you used, sky as a limit. And about 2 days ago, what I woke up with actually was infinite possibilities. And I realized that actually I'm missing making my meditations for you guys. As you know, I have quit my ASMR channel because I felt like ASMR is not what I'm really aligned with and resonating with anymore. However, I know a lot of you miss my meditation videos or ASMR-ish videos that are predominantly for healing and relaxing and coming up with new possibilities. Because I feel that when we have awareness of new possibilities or the best possibilities or the highest possibilities, then we can truly relax. So the news are that I am going to continue my channel, which currently is Liv Kissper ASMR. I am going to rename it into something like in unlimited possibilities or infinite possibilities, or it may be going to be something like generate love and safety meditations or something like that. I don't know yet. However, I just wanted to tell you this because it really came from this idea of thinking about the sky as a limit. So I hope that you like this idea. And Lindsay, to actually answer your question, what would I be doing if I wasn't a life coach, if the sky was the limit? You know, I must say, I would be doing exactly what I'm doing right now because I am so excited about what I'm doing. I am so excited beyond even explanation. And really, I believe the only limit there is, it's right here in my mind. And I continuously keep surprising myself and keep expanding my stories and my limitations, which is so beautiful. And I wouldn't be doing anything else than life coaching and now meditations because I'm super excited and inspired by that as well. But what I love the most in the world, what makes me feel so inspired and so alive, is to actually help people to hold space for them and hold their highest possibility for them so they don't get stuck by the stories and limitations that they have for themselves. And that's also why I have a coach, and that's why my coach is a coach, because we don't want to be stopped by this limitation that's up here. And to me, if that's not there, the stories are not there, then really even the sky is not limit. And so I want to see that. I want to see people who can connect to their true selves and create and experience life through that space which they really are, instead of looking outside for the answers and looking for love and approval. So in a nutshell, I want to see the world where people don't give a shit about what everyone is thinking, and they can just dance whatever they want to dance, and they want to experience whatever they want to experience that comes from their highest possibility, from their highest desires, beyond the desires of the personality, which is always looking for love and approval, and then it ends up with manipulating and it ends up in pain. So yeah, I would be definitely doing what I'm doing right now, and you will hear more about what I'm doing and what I'm really excited about. Right now I'm actually creating a program for women to specifically source their own love and security from within, so they can co-create the most amazing and extraordinary relationships. And what led me to that is my own relationship that I have right now, which it just keeps expanding and keeps being so extraordinary with my boyfriend. However, it wasn't always like that. It was actually the opposite, because I used to have so many panic attacks in my relationships or without, and always felt alone and really jealous and hiding it and feeling so much shame around it. So I feel extremely grateful for everything what I have in my life, for all the support that's been given to me, for all this beautiful journey. That's why I really believe that everything is always happening perfectly, because all these situations that's been happening in my life that you could call bad or challenging actually ended up being my biggest gifts that led me to be where I am right now, and really understanding where people are coming from when they come to me and when they feel depressed and anxious and jealous and resentful and angry, and I'm like, I totally understand and I can help. So this is the limit. It's the sky is not it. I hope I answered your question a little bit. Let's dive into the next one. Next question is from Gregory. And Gregory says, I agree with your thoughts in the last video about how the answers to our questions usually lie within us rather than looking to others and what they are doing. At the same time, I worry about overthinking, because that is something that I do a lot. What advice would you give for listening within, but also avoiding overthinking? Thank you for everything you do. So thank you so much, Gregory, for this beautiful question. I think overthinking is something that we all do. And the reason why we overthink is pretty simple, actually. We overthink, we are in our head, in our analytical mind, because we don't know what the true issue actually is. So I'll say it again, we overthink because we're trying to find answers, but we actually don't know what the real issue is. And once we find what the issue is, then we also know the answer. And that's why I guide people into finding, guiding them into going deeper beyond their own limitations, so they actually see for themselves what are they not seeing currently. And once you see it, it's like those blind spots that we all have, those blind spots, and we can't see them. And all we can see is just the mind is going crazy, because we want to get out of that, attacking thoughts, and we just want to solve this problem. But there is no problem, except of the one that we're creating here. And the issue, the root cause, is usually completely something different. So I hope that this helps you, and you're not alone. Everyone is doing this. And sometimes, we also have this wisdom that comes from this space of silence. And for me, it's really learning how to question my mind, and sometimes having a support that can help me to go beyond my stories and these beliefs and blocks that are really stopping me from seeing the truth. Because that's like the biggest, the greatest gift that I've ever been given. When I come back to myself every time, and I don't see it, and I overthink, and so we all have that possibility. We all have that wisdom inside. That's not from here. It won't, the answers won't come from over here. It will come from way more deeper within us, and we don't have to overthink. So I hope that it helps you in some way or answers your question. And let's dive into the next one. And the next one is from Stella. So Stella, thank you for your question. And she's saying, in your meditations, especially in the trippy ones, all of your words and what you say is so amazing. Thank you. The script sounds so well balanced that I wonder how you come up with it. For example, phrases like, you are the happening. And so my question is, how do you come up with the words and the overall structure of your videos? Do you write it before filming, or do you improvise, and so on? So what I usually do, I wait for some ideas to come up to me that feels really like, wow, this is amazing, like some revelation or insights. And I usually write them down. And when I'm coming up with idea for my videos, I usually write a basic structure, what I want to talk about, or just some ideas that I want to convey. It's usually just a few points, like a bullet points that I have. And then when I say the meditation, it's half improvised and half structured. There's a lot of space for me, just ideas just coming up to me on the spot. And the way I do it is I'm really attuning to you. I know it might sound crazy because it's, you're over there and I'm here, but I'm really trying to attune with the person who's listening and being in their own experience. And so I'm literally experiencing what you're experiencing in a way that if I want you to be relaxed, I have to really go first and relax. And then the words just flow to me from that space. And I'm always looking for some different phrases, but I'm not really looking for them. They just come to me in the way of I understand reality and my own experience and through what I've been through. So thank you so much for liking those words. I know sometimes they're a little bit outside of the ordinary. But yes, thank you. Beautiful question. And the next question, we have two more. We have more, but two more people. So Michelle is asking, you mentioned in the last question and answer that you do meditations in the morning. Any specific kind of intention? More of mindfulness or something deeper? So usually what I do is I do meditation where I'm just being present. You could call it mindfulness meditation, but I'm specifically fishing out for some painful thoughts or stories. And after that I clean them, because I want to start my day with totally fresh mind and open heart. And sometimes when I don't give attention to those painful thoughts, then they just become bigger during the day, and then I react, or I can't really be functioning from that space of just groundedness. So that's basically my regular practice that I do daily. However, right now I'm also doing a meditation that my coach gave me, and it's about abundance. So it's abundant meditation, and each day I'm looking within and see if there is some scarcity thinking about, like for example, I was having scarcity around clarity. I felt like, how come I have some confusion around what I want to do, and then bang, this clarity came to me around what I want to do with my ASMR channel, which is I want to just rename it and carry on doing meditations, and they will have some ASMR aspects in them because I just love using my hands. My hands just like do all of this like spontaneously, most of it, even like it's crazy, like I just love doing that either way. And yeah, so this is what I'm doing right now. I usually stay with that mindfulness meditation, which is just this observing and coming up, being observant of my thoughts and stories. I do that very regularly. And then on top of that, I might sometimes do like short 10-minute meditations for just different aspects. And sometimes I take break for those short ones. But I do the main one, the regular one. I don't know what to call it. It's just connecting to my, just seeing my stories, meditation. Okay, and Michelle is also asking, in the last video you said something about positive affirmations that made it seem like you are not a fan. Do you think positive affirmations or mantras are useful or more BS we tell ourselves? Personally, they are at least better than the negative thoughts I have about myself, but ... Okay, so affirmations. I don't think they're bad or good. To me, it really depends what kind of thoughts you're working with. But from my experience, when I'm trying to affirm something, some positive thoughts, but there are some deep-seated negative beliefs, it's not only that it doesn't work, it's that maybe I feel really positive on top, and then I don't actually take action in that direction that I need. How would I explain it? So for example, a good example is like a law of attraction, when you're trying to manifest something and you keep telling yourself some positive affirmations. And I'm not saying they're all bad. Sometimes they can be super helpful and super inspiring. But sometimes you feel so positive from that you discharge of these positive emotions, and then when you don't take the steps to actually achieve your goal, if you don't take action, then nothing actually changes, nothing happens, or you keep feeling inside still unworthy, even though you feel really pumped out by being so amazing. And so I think that it really depends on how you're using affirmations. And what I've been doing actually, my last meditation, I've been inviting you to give you some words which could be affirmations, but if they don't resonate, just let them kind of go through you. And if they resonate, just really feel them. Just feel them, and really it's up to you what you choose to bring in, and what maybe you feel that you need to, if it doesn't resonate, there's usually some opposite belief is inside that you can work with. And last question that Michelle has: any plans to come to USA? Well, I'm going to USA for about 1 day in March, 1 day, because I'm going to retreat in Mexico. So really not so much. But if I do, I will probably, if I do something interesting in USA, which I might, I will let you know. So far, I'm planning most of the workshops and retreats in Costa Rica that I will also let you know very soon about. Next one will be in March. And last person we have here, Fidencio. And Fidencio is asking a few questions. So I'm just going to take it one by one. He says, he feels honored that from all of the countries in the world, I chose to live in one of the Latin Hispanic countries. But on the other hand, he has a curiosity to know more about the lovely Czechoslovakia, Czech Republic. I wonder how much you know if you called it lovely already. For me, it's a little exotic place, like maybe it's exotic for you, Costa Rica. And I really want to know more about the folkloric dances and the rich culture from the fascinating place. Okay, so in here, Fidencio, I really don't know much about folkloric dances in Czech Republic. I can imagine something, but I just have no experience. No experience with that. When I dance, I can tell you about my experience. When I dance, I'm being danced by the source, not by the culture. It's pretty much with everything what I do. But yeah, I understand that for you that must be a fascinating and exotic place, just like for me, it's Costa Rica. But mostly I'm in Costa Rica because there is the ocean so close, and I can just go and swim in the ocean, because actually Czech Republic is such a small country in the middle of Europe, and I haven't seen the ocean until I was like 21, and I always wanted to. It was like such a dream of mine. So now being, having that accessibility, it feels wonderful, and it's just where I am. It's really about the community, and here is such a beautiful community than anything else. And I love that in Costa Rica, actually you're not asking more about Costa Rica, you were asking more about Czech Republic. I usually don't talk about it as much, and it's only because I really see more similarities with people rather than differences. And so I don't tend to think about countries. I don't tend to even think countries exist, except in our minds and in our agreements. I just see the world as it is and people as they are. And I'm always curious about what is actually happening with people in that moment rather than where they are from. But I hope that answers, there you go. This is the answer. And this is not over yet. Another thing, he wanted to ask me about my song, if I'm writing a new song, because he really loved my Green is My Blood song. So thank you so much. I'm not planning on making any music in any foreseen future, but it's definitely on my bucket list. I would love to make more music. Probably not this year, but if there is something that I will make, I will post it, or I will guys let you know, whether I put it on my channel or one of my channels or on Spotify. Yeah, that's definitely something. Back to the first question from Lindsay, what would you do if the sky was the limit? Well, I would definitely sing and dance. I love singing. I just usually don't know many songs, many words, and right now my focus is somewhere else. but if I sing more, I will let you know. And then, you know, Fidencio, you're asking about my mala. Sometimes I use mala around my neck, and he wants to know what mantras I recommend for meditation to wake up our consciousness or his consciousness. And another thing is that you wanted to ask me if one day you wanted to visit me. So there's two different things. Using mala to wake up our consciousness and mantras. I don't particularly work with mantras or malas. I sometimes wear the mala because it's beautiful. Or some I have from my friends that they made, and I thought it's just so beautiful. But yeah, I'm currently not so much into mantras and chanting. I'm not an expert in chanting of mantras, even though I have done before. So I can't really recommend here much either. Let's see, but you want to ask if one day if you have the money, you can visit me, and I can actually give you some answer here. Yes, because I do these retreats, and I want people to come to my retreats, whether they are a retreat or if it's a workshop. Sometimes I do workshops like the one that's going to be coming. It's called Sound and Silence, and it's going to be in March, and I'm going to be presenting a workshop about infinite possibilities. Alexa?
Sorry, I'm having trouble understanding right now. Please try a little later.
Alexa, be quiet. What was I saying?
Sorry, I'm having trouble understanding right now. Please try a little later.
Okay, so I was talking about the Sound and Silence workshop, Sound and Silence gathering that's going to be happening in March. I'll just leave you the link in the description, but I'm sure I will also announce it in my next video. And what I'm excited about is the most that I'm going to be also doing some healing session. But yeah, I love this gathering. It's really small. It's not like a big festival. It's between festival and retreat. And it's really for people who are more sensitive. It's for like healers and empaths. And so the space is really made for people who are more sensitive, which is beautiful. So yeah, I'll be definitely doing things like that throughout my life, and I'll be posting on my website or just telling you here in the video. So whoever needs to or wants to see me, they can come to Costa Rica or wherever I'm doing, wherever I'm traveling to connect with me and do my workshops. And do I have any plans to come to Puerto Rico? No, not right now. And the last one, oh no, this is it. That's the last question. So thank you guys so much for really submitting your questions. The next question and answer session will happen again here on my Liv UNBOUND channel, and I will post a post to ask you to submit more questions so we can spend some more time and reconnect. And so yeah, that's it. I hope you liked it. Thank you so much for your questions, and especially for your support on Patreon through all these turbulent times of my uncertainty and confusion, which is kind of becoming really clear and really aligned. And I so appreciate you for staying through all of this. And I love you, appreciate you, and I'll speak to you soon.